an intriguing road. Believe it or not, becoming models wasn't always a major dream for the two of us. It was more of a vague idea, an intriguing road to try, a glamorous future to imagine. What brought us to these interviews began many years ago with a tiny seed, a thought planted, an idea mentioned. That seed took root and slowly grew in our hearts for many years. Jump back in time with us 10 years from this point to see where it all started.
Me, a glamorous model? It was a warm summer afternoon in Texas. In other words, it was 98 degrees. Kristen, was walking with my mom through an outdoor shopping mall. Tall for my age, 12 at the time, and lanky, I had stringy blonde hair that hung just past my shoulders. Suddenly, a brunette woman wearing a gray pinstripe suit and pink high heels approached us with a big smile. "Excuse me," she said. "I saw you two walking by and just had to ask, does your daughter do any modeling?" This outgoing middle-aged stranger looked at my mom and then locked her gaze on me. I smiled and gave her a shy no, then glanced at my mom. A model, I thought to myself, at my age? The woman quickly pulled out a business card from her suit jacket and handed it to my mom. "Your long legs and blonde hair would make great model material," she said excitedly. She introduced herself and explained that she and her husband worked specifically with young models ages 10 to 16, preparing them for a career in the industry. They owned a large house in Dallas, and many of their young modeling recruits lived with them. She told us that her models worked for the biggest agencies in Dallas and were on their way to becoming top models. "They also get paid really well," she said, taking a more serious tone. She asked my mom if we would be interested in coming to her house to look into the opportunity. She even offered a bedroom for me and said I could live at their house if I was interested. I could tell my mom was slightly shocked and flattered by her offer. In the end, my mom kindly declined, explaining that a modeling career wasn't what she or my dad had in mind for my future. "At least talk to your husband and think about it some more," the lady urged. "We'll think about it," my mom said and smiled. We thanked her and walked away to continue our shopping. I had never thought of myself as a model until then. A real model? A beautiful model? A seed of curiosity took root in my heart that day. For the first time, I wondered what the life of a glamorous model would be like.
Helmet head and beret babe. While Kristen was imagining life as a model someday, Bethany, was still very much immersed in being a kid. I was sweet and innocent and couldn't have cared less about looking pretty. Even though I'm only a year and a half younger than Kristen, I wasn't as interested in growing up quickly. With short, frizzy hair, a partial unibrow, huge glasses, and missing teeth, I'll be the first to admit that I was not much to look at. If someone had told me then that I would interview for a modeling job someday, I would have given them my famous cross-eyed look. It wasn't until Kristen began paying more attention to her clothes and hair that I became curious about beauty as well. Little sisters want to be like their big sisters. Although Kristen's newfound interest in looking pretty was getting stronger, she didn't quite know how to put it into action yet. Brushing her hair into a super tight ponytail, then dousing her head with hairspray was her version of a fashionable look. In fact, she doused her head with so much hairspray that she acquired the flattering nickname Helmet Head. Our family still jokes about her helmet head look. As the months went by, I finally developed my own interests in beauty and decided to try a few fashion looks of my own. One day before church, I opened up a pack of metal hair barrettes. Instead of using 1, 2, or even 3, I thought it would be cool to put the entire pack in my hair. After securing a tight ponytail, no hairspray for me, I lined both sides of my head with dozens of shimmering barrettes, hence the reason I didn't need hairspray. If only you could have seen the look of satisfaction on my face. Oh yeah, barrette babe coming through. I headed out the door thinking I was the hottest chick on the planet. Looking back on our childhood always makes me and Kristen laugh. You probably laugh at yours too. We thought we were totally cool and hip when it came to our fashion choices. Although we were young and fashion illiterate, something was changing in us. Our desire to be beautiful and valued by the people around us began to form. We began noticing the beautiful faces on billboards, the sensual women on magazine covers, the perfect hair on shampoo commercials, the bone-thin models on mall posters. We noticed these things, and we liked them. These images appealed to our inner desire to be beautiful, to be feminine, to be women. The prevailing secular culture enticed us with its version of femininity, its perception of romance, its idea of family, its explanation of success. Little by little, the subtle undertow of our culture's